Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to be using another larger mold, number 4, I believe, from the Happy Dotting Company on Etsy. If you guys have not used my discount, make sure you go there and use my discount code Rachel's Rocks Canada, all capital letters, and you will get a 10% discount off of anything you spend over $10. So don't forget, go there and get some cool molds for your stones. So what I've done is I've covered it in 2 coats of white paint. I used a sponge to do that because it gives like a nice even layer. And then I used a compass to kind of get an idea of where I want my moon shape to be. Because today, I'm very nervous. Here comes my sleeping Santa moon. I did work on this for a couple of weeks. I was very nervous about it because I am not a human face person. I am not able, I can. I'm sure if I put my time and effort into it, I could probably do a human face, but I don't have a lot of confidence in that area. So I don't do it. I don't do it very often. So I wanted to do a beautiful Santa moon after seeing some gorgeous renditions on Pinterest. There's a lot of different types of Santa moons. So mine's going to be sleeping. Right now I drew the eyes open and I was like, oh, that looks scary to me. So I end up not doing the eye open at all. I feel like I probably would have been too self-conscious of the detail I'd have to put in there. So I don't know. This one might be a little intimidating. I did hear from 1 or 2 people over Facebook that I'm slightly intimidated, but I think I'm still going to try it. So if I can do this, so can you all. Just please try and have a little bit of confidence because I definitely had to for this one. It took me a long time. I kept putting it down and getting it back up again, putting it back down and saying, you know what? And then someone else did a beautiful Santa moon on Facebook and I'm like, oh man, too late now. Maybe I shouldn't do one. I'm afraid I won't be able to do a very good job. I was not confident, but we'll see how it turns out. We'll see what everybody thinks of it. I don't always walk into this confident as heck. I want you guys to know that. This is my first time doing a Santa moon, so we'll see how it goes. And you guys let me know how you like it and let me know if you're going to make one because it's really exciting if I've inspired you, even though I was not very confident about myself on this one. So I have covered the background in an indigo blue. So it's like a very dark, dark blue. And I'm adding a little bit of purple. I just want to add a little bit, not too much. I don't want it to change completely. I'm just kind of adding a little bit of purple over top of the blue. Now I'm erasing all stuff that I don't really want because I'm going to be kind of covering it in white paint or colored paint. And I don't want to see my pencil marks, of course. So I'm getting rid of the ones that I don't want. Now I needed to let my blue dry because I'm impatient. I still need to let it dry. Look at that. I'm lifting the blue up. But yeah, I go back to it later. We'll work on that. It's just going to be blue with a little bit of purple over top of it. And then we're going to do some stars in the background. I might adjust the looks of his face a little bit as we go along because I did have to keep putting it down and coming back to it over a couple of weeks. So I'm very nervous about it. So please bear with me. It may change up a little bit, but I'm that's what you do. That's just what you do. So I'm outlining. I'm doing a bit of a weird beard. I don't know if you guys have seen some of my gnome hair. I'm not doing gnome hair on this one. It's going to be a little different. And I'm going to kind of separate like chunks of hair and they're all going to be going in a certain direction because they're a little bit wavy. I'm going to leave his mustache completely white, his eyebrow completely white, and a little bit tuft of hair that's coming out from under his hat is going to be left white. But I am going to do some glitter and some pinstriping on the hair. I know that sounds really strange, but hopefully you guys like it when it's done. I hope. His mustache looks a little big right now. So I'm kind of thinning out some of the black lines that I put in there, and they will thicken as we go along because I do have to outline them again later. But this is just me getting kind of like my base down, and then we're gonna fill it in with color and glitter and some gold too. There's gonna be some gold. But this is gonna be Rachel's Rocks version of a sleeping Santa Moon because Rachel was afraid to do the eye details. I'm okay with doing animal eyes, but humans intimidate me. People are not very nice to me about my human paintings in the past. So I don't have much confidence in that. So I hope you guys, I don't let you down with this today. I hope it's entertaining to watch, if anything at all. So, and I hope I inspire you. And if it is intimidating, please watch it, share it, come back to it. Don't give up because I didn't. It took me a couple weeks, but I didn't give up. And I brought this to you guys. So if you love it, watch the video, give me a like, a thumbs up, or a thumbs down, and let me know what you thought of it, because that really helps out the algorithm on my channel, and that's all you guys doing that for me. So if you can share or like or comment, I appreciate it, guys. So I've done some nice berry wine color in his hat. It's a very, very dark maroon, dark burgundy-ish color. The face I get really frustrated with, so bear with me. I go back to it at certain times. You'll see like areas look a little bit different. I'm putting some shading in here, but I'm going to be going over top of that. To get the skin color that I've used, I mixed together vintage tea rose, camel, and white. And that's just what I do when I try and do skin color. I do the same thing that I do with my little gnomes that I've painted in the past. He looks really, really funny right now. You guys feel free to laugh at this because it does look very strange. I'm trying to give him some big chubby cheeks, some Santa cheeks, but I want him sleeping at the same time. So his nose looks a little bit strange. The shading's a little bit strange, but I'm going to work on that. I'm going to make his nose a little rosy and his cheek a little rosy. And of course, his lip. That is not a tongue, okay? This is not his tongue sticking out. Please do not say that in the comments. It is not his tongue. It's his lower lip. His upper lip you cannot see because of his mustache. He's got a very magical mustache. So I am just kind of trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with this face because that does not look right to me. So I'm going to leave it. Once again, if you get frustrated with a certain part of it, leave it. Let it dry. Go back to it later. Gain some confidence in yourself because you got this. And I'm going to work on the hat. So I did a quick coat again with a sponge with the berry wine, just so that the berry wine was wet. And then I added a little bit of white. So I'm just kind of texturizing the hat a little bit, lightening it up a little bit, but keeping most of it the dark berry wine. But I just want to kind of give it some texture. Make it look soft and kind of lit up a little bit, like there's a shine. I don't know. And I'm going to be putting some powder, chrome powder on his beard to make it like shine a little bit like a glitter. It's a very, very fine nail glitter. I will leave in the description where I got that kind. It's called Born Pretty. And I believe it was like a set of 4 different glitters, and I got it on Amazon a long time ago. So a little goes a long way, and I use it for a lot of different things like flower petals, and it's just to give it like a pearlescent shine. But yeah, you don't have to use it. You don't have to do every technique that I'm doing. If you're bored or if you think I'm going a little extra, you don't have to do it, just so you know. I've added a little bit of black to some white just to give it like a bit of gray. And I'm just kind of shading in some of his bearded areas. So just under his mustache, around under his lip, along the side of his head, just under his hat. And I'm also going to be doing some shading in like where the hair kind of curls up. So just kind of imagine where hair might be shiny or darker and lighter in certain areas. And that's what I'm trying to do, but I am not a professional artist. Or at least I don't call myself one. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't pay some kind of like horrible tuition for learning not very much. I've just taught myself how to do this. So bear with me. I'm not a realistic painter and I'm doing the best I can. I'm here to entertain you. That's for sure. And guess what my kids gave me? Guess what they gave me? A cold. I have been suffering with a cold for about 5 days now. It's nothing to be worried about. It's just a cold, but aren't they sweet? They love me so much. They brought that to me. And not only that, but they missed like 4 days of school again because of a cold. So I have been trying really hard to keep up with my custom orders and my tutorials and my shop, my Etsy shop, because of course that's how Santa's coming to our house this year. So I've been working very, very hard, and it's really hard to do that when my kids are at home arguing all day over everything, including who gets to pet the dog. So yeah. Bear with me, guys. I'm doing the best I can. I do have a couple more tutorials that I have started, and hopefully you guys will see those very, very soon. But until then, I appreciate your patience. I hope that you guys are safe. I've heard that some places are back under lockdown. I'm so sorry. Luckily, I live nowhere near where the hotspots are in Ontario. I live about 7 hours away from there. So luckily, as long as nobody travels from there and comes to our little town, we might be able to stay out of lockdown. But for anyone who is, I'm so sorry. And I'm so sorry if anyone's Christmases are going to be very, very different this year. The holidays are going to be very, very different this year for a lot of people. And I just want to send my love out to all of you. No matter what it is you're going through, no matter what is affecting your day-to-day life, putting any kind of stress on you or pressure or fear, I just want to send you my heart, because that's how I send my love. So I'm sending my heart to all of you today for whatever is going on. And just know that I love you. We will all get through this together. So I have sponged over top of the gray areas that I was trying to shade. I've sponged over with white to make sure it all kind of blends in together nicely, but I lost my black lines. So I'm going back in, making sure that I can see all of my bearded areas, the hair tuft that's coming out from under the hat. I outlined his mustache. He's got a little downward curl to his mustache, and he's got like little sections of his beard, and it kind of like spirals around into the shape of a moon. So I really like his beard. I hope you guys like it too. His face is looking a little bit better. I still have to pink his cheeks a little because it's rosy out there and cold. When you're a moon, you are cold and you need to have rosy cheeks. So I'm just making sure that everything is outlined. I have all these sections marked off because I'm going to do fine, like not really that thick, not very dark, not like the lines you see right now, but I'm just going to do a couple of stripes down his beard after I do this glitter. So this is the Born Pretty glitter. It literally just kind of gives it like a pearl shine to dry acrylic paint. So it gives it like a all over just a pearly look, and I thought that would be a nice effect on his hair. Now I will be going over that pearly effect with some Mod Podge just so that glitter kind of stays in place. I'm going to be using 3 different kinds of glitter today on him, and one kind of glitter I don't mind if it goes all over the rock, but the other kinds of glitter I kind of want to keep in place. So this one I'm going to keep in place by putting Mod Podge over it. But first I'm going to pin stripe. See how I've done just a couple of stripes Very fine, not as dark as the lines that are sectioning off each part of his beard. Barely noticeable, but they are there. And I don't even go all the way to the tips of the curl at the end of his beard sections. I just kind of, it just makes it look like the hair is flowing a certain way. That's the best way I can describe it, being a non-school taught technical artist. You guys know me by now. I just make up words and they just fit. They fit for me. You guys might even be using some of those words now too, if you've been around for long enough. I think I'm working on 3 years, or maybe it's just 2 years. I don't even know. I need to find out when I started my YouTube channel. His tuft of hair at the top there, I'm not going to pinstripe like I said, but the eyebrow and the mustache, I'm not pinstriping. I'm also going to put a little sheen of that same glitter right just where I was kind of highlighting the underneath of his hat, because his face glows a little bit. His beard glows a little bit, and it lightened the lower portion of his hat that's curled down there. So I lightened it there with a little bit of white paint earlier, let it dry, and now I've highlighted that area with this chrome powder. You guys saw me do this on my mushroom houses. You've seen me do this on other things before too. I just kind of use it as a highlighter, kind of like when you do your makeup. I use it to highlight things. It's kind of cool. I'm terrible with face makeup though, so if anyone ever wants to teach me, I'd like to look beautiful one day. Glittery and highlighted. So I put way too much highlighter up on this guy's cheek. I'm so sorry, Santa. I'll tone it down a little bit afterwards. So I did use a little bit of Mod Podge on the beard to hold the glitter all in place once my black pinstriping was dry. And I used Mod Podge as well. You probably saw me do that on the red portion of his hat to keep that shimmer in place there. I'm making his cheek a bit rosy, his nose a little bit rosy. Still bothered by this cheek. I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll see. Just keep your eyes peeled because it does change. You do what you need to do. I'm going to give him a nostril and make sure that his mustache is outlined properly. If you find it easy to do faces, please let me know what your trick is, because this is so intimidating to me. I don't want to disappoint the human race by painting an awful Santa. So it's a little bit intimidating to me. I'm still working on the face. I'm going to be kind of toning down that cheek thing with a little bit of skin colored paint. I'm going to try and tone it down so there's just like a little bit of shading there, but I have to let it dry and work with it. But his cheek isn't going to be so bold. It's not going to look like I drew it on, but I do have to let things dry. I'm kind of trying to shade by the nose there, but you have to mix like the right amount of the skin color, not skinny. There is no skinny paint, I'll tell you that. But the skin color mixed with just the smallest amount of black so that you can get that shading in there. So I'm going to work on it. You guys can watch. You can slow it down as well. Just make sure you turn the volume down so you don't have to hear me, because I am pretty scary slowed down. Just a warning, okay? So if you're going to slow it down to try and watch what I've done with the face or any other portion of any other tutorial, please turn it down. Fair warning. So he's looking a little bit more human, I suppose. I'm really not going to do very much with the eye. I did do a couple of like faded wrinkles there at the end of his eye. But I'm not doing anything else. I'm too scared that I'm going to mess it up. And once I feel comfortable enough with it, when I stand back and look at it, I'm like, okay, he might look a little bit like Kenny Rogers or someone I've seen before, but you know, he could pass for Santa. He could definitely pass for a Santa. So I'm going to leave his face alone. And now I'm just kind of using a sponge to like make this hat look a little bit fuzzier than what it does right now. And I'm going to be adding glitter, of course, to this one. Now the glitter that I'm using is from the Recollections series from Micheal's. I got mine from Michael's in a big set. There was like a whole bunch of different glitters, but they're fine, fine glitter. And this one is called Sugar Cube, and it's beautiful. It's like a white glitter, but when you turn it a certain way, it looks like a pink, like a very light pink, but it's just beautiful. And I used it on my snowman in my tipsy. Someone told me my snowman looked tipsy, but it's actually tangled. But he does look tipsy, so you can call him Tipsy Snowman too. I used the same glitter on the snowman that I'm using on this hat. So it looks really, really nice on top of white. And it looks kind of like fluffy and crystally, and it's beautiful. You can't really tell, honestly, you can't tell by this video how beautiful it is, but I've used Mod Podge. I've sponged it on just like I would with paint, did a nice thick layer of that, and then sprinkle it on, and I'm just going to let it dry. I'm going to work on something else while I let that dry. So I used a pencil to kind of do a straight line hanging from the tip of his hat, because here I'm going to hang from his hat like a little gold chain, so it's just going to be little tiny dots using my gold paint and a toothpick. So there's my gold chain. Bam! It's done. And now I'm going to let that gold paint dry, and I'm going to brush off all the excess things. I did let this sit for quite some time, so everything is dry. Okay. I put this away for a bit and came back to it. So the gold is dry and the glue is dry where I put the crystals. So that's done. Brush off any excess crystals. I call it my desk broom. It's a big fan brush, and it's very, very fine and very soft. And it's perfect for brushing off any glitter and stuff like that that you have left over on your rocks. Just make sure you wait till it's dry. So now I'm using gel polish that I need to use at my UV lamp to cure. You guys have seen me use this stuff before. And I just did a big old blob. And now I'm using my fine lining brush, which I can clean off with nail polish remover once I'm done using it. And I stretched out that blob into a star. So you do as many points on your star as you want. That's totally up to you. And then I'm using holographic nail powder, which you guys have also seen before. And I'm using the Born Pretty stuff so that I don't try and confuse you guys. It's also Born Pretty. It came in the set with the pearl powder that I put on his beard. So if you buy that, you get the holographic powder as well. So I've decided I'm going to put on these white dots. I put a little bit of holographic, a little holographic dot on there as well. And I'm going to brush it off with my desk broom. And yeah, I'm putting like little dots of clear coat everywhere, and all of these little dots are going to be holographic. And then I'm going to add 2 more stars that are going to be smaller and in the distance, in the blank areas that I've left where you can kind of see it's bare. So yeah, I had that intention. I was going to be putting some more stars here. Only 3 though. Only 3. So first I wanted to give some gold to my Santa because there just wasn't enough with that little gold chain. So now his hat is outlined in gold. I hope that satisfies some of your gold cravings as well, because there's really not a lot of gold on this guy. So I'm building another star here with my clear coat. Don't forget, if you put the light on top of your paintbrush with this stuff, it's going to harden and you're not going to get it off. So make sure you dip it right in acetone before you even turn your light on. That way your paintbrush, your fine lining brush that you may have created like mine, isn't ruined. That's all. So he's almost done, you guys. He's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, but we'll wait and see what he looks like under the resin. How about that? Now that holographic glitter is very, very fine. Oh, you get to see my son's hamburger. That's his Christmas decoration. He likes that. Sesame seed bun and everything. I'm going to find a bare part of my tree that my cats have destroyed and show you so that all the color in the background doesn't take away from this beauty. Peekaboo. Here he comes. Okay. you'll see like a fine holographic shimmer over top of that blue sky now. And that is exactly what I was hoping for. It like kind of stuck to my blue paint, that holographic powder. So there's like a fine shimmer in that blue paint, and it just looks awesome. The beard shimmers, the hat is so glittery you can't even tell in this video, I promise. And those stars, those holographic stars are absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually pretty happy with his face. He actually looks like a sleeping Santa moon. So let me know what you guys think. Honestly, let me know if there's anything you wish that I would have done differently. I'm still taking your suggestions. I've got a bunch of them written down. I just want to tell you guys how much I love you. And I know I tell you this every time, but I really appreciate each and every one of you. And take care of yourselves. Stay strong. And I will see you very soon. Bye, guys. Keep painting.